Hey Jabbers, welcome back to another minisode. Today we are talking about some perhaps wedding traditions that have changed over the years, have morphed into something different, or are straight up gone that we're no longer doing, at least for Carrie and I, and probably many of you, that we just got rid of them altogether in the wedding industry. So let's jump in because Carrie, you had something that you noticed recently. Was it someone that brought this up to you, or you read it in an article?
It was my mom.
Okay, mother.
Yes. Okay, so we were chatting. My mom is very big on thank yous, like handwritten thank yous, whether it's like you got a gift at your wedding or money or your graduation, a birthday, whatever it is. Like she feels like it's rude to not get a thank you note back, like an acknowledgement and like not even just the in-person thank you. Like that's nice, but she is like, it's rude if I'm not getting a thank you note in the mail. Because my mom was very on me about like getting thank you notes out after my wedding, my baby shower, all of this stuff. Granted, a few might have slipped through the cracks. I'm sorry to those friends. I did not get a thank you note. Um, but I thought it was just like a really interesting topic because I said to my mom, I was like, I don't think a lot of people do that anymore. I totally hear you. It's a fair statement that you feel offended that when you don't get a thank you note, that someone maybe is like, she kind of sees it as like maybe they're just not grateful or like, did they even get it? Like for her, it's an acknowledgement of like the money and time spent. But also I think she's like, well, did you get the gift? Like if she's, because nowadays it's like you kind of ship things to someone's house. So she's not personally giving it to them. Um, but from my perspective, a lot of my friends have never sent a thank you note post shower wedding. Um, and I wonder if it's just not a thing people do anymore. I'm not
Mhm.
offended. I think it's just our generation. Um, I feel like a lot of times people say thank you in person for like coming. That feels sufficient to me. Of course, getting a handwritten note is always like a lovely gesture, but I guess I'm just curious what people's thoughts are. And like, I know this probably has changed a lot, of people ordering thank you notes. I mean, maybe this would be a fun statistic to find out from like Minted or different places
Mhm.
that print those types of things, if those numbers have gone down a lot.
That's a good point. We should reach out. I'm with you, but I don't want to be. So let me explain. I think I agree that it's trending downwards. People, I don't know if it's just people don't have time or this generation is assuming we're grateful type of thing. I don't know what it is,
Right.
but I wish it wasn't the case. I agree with your mom that I think a handwritten note, it does not have to be a long thing. Some of those cards are just a quick, it's like a postcard, you just write, thank you so much. And it's like they took the time to go to find it. And like you said, they spent money on it. And all it takes is probably 30 seconds of your time to write the note, sign your name, put their name,
Yeah.
send it. The pain of all of it is probably gathering the information to begin with, like who sent what, what's their address. But if I remember correctly, typically, well, traditionally at showers, there is a person that's supposed to be taking notes on, like,
Yep.
Carrie brought the diaper cream or,
Right.
whatever
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
no, for sure. Which a
So,
lot of my friends did, which did help. I think even sometimes in the thank you, I wasn't specifically acknowledging exactly what they gave me. It was more
yeah.
like a general thank you. And I mean, I agree with you. I don't think my mother is wrong. Like I hear you and it is a nice gesture. It doesn't take a lot of time and effort. I just feel like it's like people don't have time for it. I'm
But
wondering
what
if
are
it's
they doing to not have
yeah,
time? This is what I want to know. And I agree with you. I think it's one of those things that gets put on the list and then just doesn't happen. And then next thing you know, weeks have gone by and they're feeling like, oh, well, it's maybe a little too late now.
right. Yeah, so they
Why?
just don't send it. Yeah.
Yeah. But why
Mhm.
aren't we making the time? Like, this is important. It is more important for the older generation. and they're not dead yet. So let's like, we still
Let's
need,
honor that.
let's honor their life right now.
I wonder, I don't know. I just maybe it's the not having time. I think that's a great point of too much time has passed and then they just think like, well, what does it really matter at
Right.
this point? Um, I don't know if this is a true fact, but I feel like early in my wedding planning days, I always had it in my head that like you had up to a year post wedding to send out
Oh.
thank yous. Like that was proper etiquette. Like you had any time within that year. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like that's ample time to get
Yeah,
thank yous
you
out,
can make that happen.
right?
Yeah. What if you pre-write them before the wedding and you, like you said, you make them generic enough that you just put the person's name and let's say someone's a no-show, you just throw that one away.
Out the door.
Too bad they didn't come. And then you just add a little personal touch at the end, but everyone can get like, thank you so much for coming to our wedding. It was so great to celebrate with you. And then the personal touch is like, we love to see you dance or what,
Right.
whatever.
Yep.
Thanks for the cake or, and
Yep.
send it. I mean, guys, this is possible.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll ask people for some feedback, see what
Yeah.
the actual trends are.
Yeah. But it
I
could go
guess,
away.
yeah, speaking of thank yous, would be, obviously you gave a gift or money of some
Mm.
sort. As people are, I mean, I think there was like a period of time, especially for millennials, like we're getting married as we get older. We have a lot of stuff. Some people don't have big registries. Um, or it's like just give money to a house fund, or a honeymoon or something like that. And I'm curious, I guess, what are you seeing with your clients? Like, what is, because I even have an older couple right now. They're in their 50s, and she's like, it feels weird to have a wedding registry. Like,
Mm.
I don't really feel like we need one. But I feel like people want to give a gift.
Yeah.
But have you also ever gone to a wedding where you haven't given a gift?
I I think I rarely bring a physical gift. Granted, you're right. I've sent stuff from the registry.
Yeah.
It to me that's the no-brainer. Like that is the easiest, least resistance route. You go, you scroll, you find something, you click ship, you pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
You're done. It's out of your way.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have a registry, I think it's expected that you bring a card with money. And I only ever get about at our weddings right now, I only maybe see 2 to 3 gifts show up. And it
Yeah.
is always an older generation. They are excited. And perhaps it's a special bonus item for
Mm-hmm.
something. I've seen a lot of like handmade signs that the Smiths established in 2022 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I see some of that, but mostly we have a card box. Like every wedding, there is always a handful of cards. And I would show up to a wedding. I would say, I'm curious what you think the going rate is per person, but I think we've done like 200 per person if
Okay.
we're going. It depends on the type of wedding.
Sure.
I think that's the highest we've given was 200 per person, but
Mhm.
could be as low as 100 per person depending
Yeah.
on like what all is happening.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the relationship to that
True.
person.
True.
Because I've also seen like $50 or 100. I mean, yeah, and I think it depends on location, right? Like what are in your head, what are you kind of pricing at as like what did they pay per person for
Yeah.
you to attend that wedding? Um, yes, I mean, I think some gift is expected, whether it's money or not. Even if I feel like even if people are like, we don't need a gift,
Hmm.
I feel like you should still give some type of money.
Hmm.
Like it just, I feel like shows a support, right? Like give a card.
What if
Um,
they're like real? What if you got invited to a billionaire's wedding? And so you're
then no.
like $50,
It's
which is
50
like
bucks.
no offense. And I think what you mentioned is a good point too about what's the relationship you have with the person, and also what's your financial capability. Like, do not feel
100%.
obligated to give
Yeah.
a lot. I think it's just
No.
the action of giving something. And so
Yeah.
why bring up the billionaire or millionaire or just someone who like clearly doesn't need the money? You could find even just a card and something a little personal in it.
Yeah.
A frame of a cute photo you took of them when they first on their first date because it
A
was a good
frame I
date.
thrifted
The frame I thrifted.
for the billionaire.
I mean, yes,
I mean, if I'm
truly.
being invited, I assume I have a lot of money, so I'm sure
Ooh.
that's different, right? But I mean, I think it's probably interesting too because it's probably dependent on like location, right? Like I
Uh-huh.
would assume most people in the Midwest or like the South, I don't know, like wherever you're kind of getting married and what's culturally been done like
True.
over the years, and like how much people give. But again, it's probably also like location based, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
And
fair. Like Gabby said, whatever your budget is, like don't give someone $200 if you're like, that's just not feasible for us.
right.
Especially if you're
Exactly.
invited to like 12 weddings in a year, like some years people are like, I have so many friends' weddings to go
Yeah.
to, like it can be expensive.
That's true. Yeah. So I think ideally showing up, not showing up empty-handed. That being said, I'm thinking about our wedding and I opened a few we opened some cards and we had some gifts, but I do not know if someone didn't give.
Yeah,
I can't tell you if someone
right.
didn't give me some. I wasn't cross-checking the guest list
No.
with the card,
No.
So like I'm
Yeah.
not mad if someone
No.
came. And for some people, they're traveling
We're
to
traveling
your
100%.
destination,
Yeah,
and it's a lot to ask people to travel and stay and whatnot.
totally. Yeah. If it's
So
a
yeah,
destination wedding, I feel like it's more reasonable to be like, well, you spent a lot of money to show up to my wedding and celebrate. So, yeah, that's totally fine. But I think again, like at the end of the day, I would say even for like my older couple, like if you want to have a registry. I don't
yeah.
think people are like, why are you putting that up there? It's weird. I think it's fairly normalized no matter what age you are. Um, but again, I think it could be, maybe you want to upgrade some stuff
Hmm.
in your house. I think giving people the option, because I think
Hmm.
there's always people who are like, well, what do they want versus
Yeah,
just giving them money. Um, there's always people that are like, well, I would like to gift them something. Like they're excited about your wedding. So I think put one up, even if it is like, give us some money for our honeymoon, or like, sometimes people have like massages or like little adventure activities they're going to do. So I think throw up something, even if it's small.
yeah, yeah. Wise words. I'm trying to think of other traditions. Obviously, I mean, we don't even need to talk about the bouquet and garter. That hasn't been done in a while. Although I will say I had a bouquet toss this weekend and I was assisting one of my lead planners' weddings here in Nashville. And I looked at her, I said, wait, there's a bouquet toss? She's like, yeah, they really want to do it. And I was surprised, but they had a great turnout on the dance floor.
Nice.
They had so much fun doing it. And it was actually perfect. I can't remember what the song was, but essentially the bride throws the bouquet. The girl catches it. One of the girls catches it. And all of a sudden, the beat drops. I don't think it was planned, but whatever the song was, the beat drops, and the whole crowd, like guys and girls, run on the dance floor and start jumping. And
Okay, that's
like,
fun.
the party kept going. And I think
Yeah.
that worked so well because I think sometimes what happens is the bouquet toss happens, and people are now standing on the outside of the dance floor waiting for it, and it just kind of kills the vibe for a little bit, and it's
Mhm.
hard to get people back on because they're going to go to the bar and they might take
Yep.
take a restroom break. And so I just tell couples in general, I'm like, the least amount of interruptions we can do when you start dancing, the happier you and your guests are going to be in that
Mhm.
for that party. But this worked out so well. I was actually smiling the whole time. I was like, oh, this is like, I have
Yeah.
not seen a bouquet toss in so long, and this was the perfect one.
I love that. Oh, I was just thinking, I mean, I know we've kind of touched on this before, but like cake is like happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen. And I was at a wedding this past weekend and they did not have a cake, which is fine by me. They had like a full candy bar. But one of my friends was like, man, I was really looking forward to the cake. And I think that's just like, I think it's always
Mhm.
split, like
Yeah.
some people really want it, some people don't. I mean, I've definitely seen it go away over the years, and now I do feel like it's kind of
It's
coming
back.
back again. And I don't know if it's just like fun for people to have these like fun decorated cakes. People are liking cake more. I don't really know why it's like coming back into trending, you know?
Yeah, good point. I think you're right. It's always been split. Some people aren't interested in it, but some people are seeking it out, and it is a tradition. People want to take a look at the cake cutting, at least the parents do. I
Yeah.
do think the cake is coming back. This weekend we had two cakes. I don't think there was a particular reason other than one of them was like really cool. It was just all you could see was strawberry, like full strawberry. So it looked like a tower of strawberries, but there was a cake
Oh,
underneath,
that's
but you
cool.
couldn't see the cake. And it was so heavy. Like we could not lift it. We had to have like these super strong servers come and pick it up. And then the other cake was like a three-tiered square
Okay.
cake with flowers that matched their color palette. I don't know if they just wanted different styles or different
Yeah.
flavors or whatever, but it was a hit. People were like crushing the cake. And I guess you just need to know your crowd, perhaps.
Yeah.
And as much as I tell couples, like you do you, something like adding a cake, if you know half of your group is like older folks that love cake, just freaking add a cake to your candy bar or to whatever.
I mean,
And
yeah, it could
what's,
be a sheet cake in the back and it's
yeah,
literally just
exactly.
served up. It doesn't have to be displayed. Yeah.
No, it can be a Publix cake. People talk about how they love Publix cakes. Um, Yes, I think it's just there are some little things like that, little traditions that sometimes it's nice to just make other people happy in that moment. You don't have to eat it. If you don't want cake, you do not have to eat it.
Yeah.
But why not have it if it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Because I do feel like the disappointment of the cake not being there is real. Like I've had a lot of guests come up to me in multiple different weddings where they're like, "Is there any cake?" And I'm like, "No, there's not." And they're like, "Dang!"
oh,
Like they're really upset about it. I
yeah,
don't know.
well,
Maybe people don't eat cake unless they're at a wedding, so they're like looking
true.
forward
It's their
to it.
one cheat thing.
Yeah.
So wait, because the one you did, it was only a candy bar. There was no like pastry thing, because I would be upset about that.
Yeah, there was no pastry, just it was like M&Ms, like gummy worms, like
No.
gummy bears, like bunch of like sour and like chocolatey things, but they had like little bags so you could like fill it up
Yeah.
and that was it. Yeah.
That's fun for like a late, like a part two to the dessert. But
Right. But yeah,
you
there was no other
need,
dessert. Yeah,
no, no.
like a pastry, yeah.
Mm. Well,
But
I'm glad they enjoyed it.
it was wonderful.
Good, good.
Um Yeah, well, I feel like, I mean, the big one I wanted to talk about, which I feel like we should share on Substack. I'd love to get more thoughts from our community of followers, um, about any of these trends, really, especially the thank yous. Because I was telling my mom, I was like, I'm going to talk about this on our podcast because
Mhm.
I think it's just really interesting to hear like generationally different perspectives. Which I'm sure, Gabby, you probably see it a lot too with any parents that are involved. Like a lot of things are really traditional when things are brought up if it's not being done. Um, so yeah, I guess
Oh,
it's interesting to see what people include, what they don't include, what they compromise on for their wedding day.
okay. I want to talk about one more thing. Granted, I guess it's not a super tradition, but maybe it's a new tradition that involves the parents. And you mentioned this because yes, when parents are involved, it can get messy. As we know, we don't love planning with moms, but sometimes we have to do it and it works out in the end. But there's a planner that posted a reel that I stumbled upon recently that did a room reveal with with just the mother of the bride. So I am assuming the couple had already come through and they did their thing and they went away. But the planner went out, she got the mother, and she did a room reveal for her. And I actually was like, that is so nice because these moms, and we know they're not all the same, but there
Yeah.
are the moms that somewhat live vicariously through their daughter
Hmm.
and they want to be involved in the planning, so they've probably given their 2 cents along the way. And I just thought this was such a great way to still make her feel included and like look at all the hard work we all did together.
Yeah.
And the mother was like super emotional and she was hugging the
Oh,
planner. And I just think planners and mothers can sometimes butt heads. And we don't want to. We want to be friends, in
yeah.
the for the day with the mother, but they
Right.
come with a lot of energy that's sometimes hard to navigate. So I just thought this was such a great idea. And I'm going to try to incorporate it for my any upcoming weddings that maybe has a mother that needs a little extra
Yeah.
TLC.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like if it's the right relationship, throughout the process, that's like a fun little add-on. Because who knows? I mean, they could have also done that earlier, like at the start of
Yeah,
cocktail
maybe.
hour, of a fun, like, hey, would you like to come see the
Yeah.
room? Especially if they were involved in the process. That is kind of a fun. Because there's oftentimes I don't do like the room reveal with the mom, but a lot of times I'll be like next to her and she's like seeing it because she's like coming in to the space after the ceremony and we're like chatting and like
Yeah.
talking about like, oh, it looks great. And like, so I feel like we're having that one-on-one conversation and like, I guess giving her that affirmation of like, so glad you're happy, like it turned out beautifully, all of that kind of stuff. So it is a
Agreed.
nice little touch. See, that's a great example of going above and beyond for clients and like their immediate family members. Because I've also had moms who have left me reviews because they worked so
Hmm.
closely with the
Hmm.
daughter and myself throughout the process. And so it's not just the clients, even though they're not your client, like the
Hmm.
moms and stuff. I feel like making them happy, they're also telling people about you. So
100%. And
yeah.
like our friend Sarah Dunn says, as long as they have worked with you in some capacity, whether they be the client, the parents, the vendors, they can leave you a review on Google and it counts. So,
Yep.
yeah, don't underestimate who you interact with because they can leave a review, good or bad.
Exactly.
Well, I love this mini-sode. I love these conversations because they're just unscripted and we just share our thoughts. And so we hope that you guys love this episode too, Jabbers. As always, come join us on Substack. That is where we share even, more tea, more in-depth, unscripted thoughts. And we release one bonus episode per month over there for our paid subscribers. But you guys can also be a free subscriber. You'll just get access to more of our posts and notes. But our paid subscribers will get the bonus episode. So we'd love to see you over there. As always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.